All right, everybody, welcome to another week here on the Whiskey Gingers podcast. I'm Brandon. That's Chris. Special guest, Mr. Jeff.
Back at it.
Yes, a little too chilly today. If you're in the Mid-Atlantic or the Northeast, you probably already know that it feels like January. So we're packed into the end of the dining room table, but the show goes on.
To be fair, we would have been packed around
Yeah.
the round table outside if we were outside. So it wouldn't have been much different. I feel like your studio is probably the only spot
Where this
that
will
we
work.
all fit pretty nice.
I've watched a couple videos. You guys look cold the past couple times. But,
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you got that one nice day where it was like 70 degrees. That was pretty awesome.
The last one we did at my place.
It's like a month ago.
Well, we got the classic fall spring going on in the Northeast, but that's what we get every year.
Yep.
So it seems like it's going to be nice and warm, and then it dips down. I mean, I saw in the forecast today, a couple days ago, that it was like potential for snow today, and they took that out of the forecast. But I mean, I wouldn't have been that surprised had it actually hit.
No.
It's April. If we get snow in April, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
March
but I mean,
it snows.
it's possible.
March it snows.
And we didn't get any snow in March this year.
Yeah.
But regardless of how cold it may be outside, it's warm in here. And even if we were cold outside, the thing we're going to be drinking today would have definitely warmed us up the tent.
Absolutely.
So this was a Chris pick this week.
I'll give you a little backstory on it. So we got a whiskey. I saw this one a couple times at my local store. It's called 8 Oaks, and it's a Pennsylvania whiskey.
Okay.
It's a farm to table. All of the grain that was grown for this was grown in Pennsylvania locally, and then it was distilled and bottled in Pennsylvania. And you guys will have to help me because I'm not a native here. I think it's New Tripoli. Is that how you pronounce that area?
Tripoli? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll let you guys. I think it's near Lancaster.
What was that?
Lancaster.
Lancaster?
That's bad.
I've heard every wrong
Yeah.
pronunciation, but I've never heard that one.
Not that one.
I've heard
So,
Lancaster.
Whatever
Yeah.
that is. Have you heard of that?
New Tripoli.
I think it's supposed to be out that way. It's in farmland in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
a little bit northwest of here.
We do some research on where New Tripoli is.
Yeah, now I'm curious too. I got to look.
But it's pretty cool. So I was happy to see that. I mean, every now and again we find a Pennsylvania one, especially one that's close to home. I feel like it's cool to grab because I mean this is probably an hour outside of here, maybe a little bit
maybe even
less.
less. I feel like New Tripoli is not that far.
Let's see. It is 49 minutes.
There you go.
You
49
guys
minutes away, we can go see the
know
distillery.
Yeah. I wonder which way though.
It's a little bit like northwest of Allentown.
Oh, there you go. That's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
It's north of Reading. It's actually east of Pottsville. It's in between Allentown and
So
Pottsville.
we can go see the Yinglingbird
Yeah.
and this in the same day.
Catch the Reading
We should do a
Phillies.
collaboration.
Yep. So there was 2 options for the 8 Oaks. This is the last bottle of this type, and then there was one bottle from a different type. This one is the Double Cask series, and it's aged in Pinot Noir casks, which I think is pretty cool. It was a little darker, and that's kind of what gravitated me towards getting it. But there was a straight bourbon one as well. It's a 44%er, and I think it's going to be pretty good. So I think we should pick it up, pop it open, see what we're looking at here. And I filled Jeff in because it's been a little while since he's filmed with us. I said, we're not really checking the flavor notes or anything these days until we've tried it
Yeah.
because we want to see if we can taste anything out of it. I mean, the Pinot Noir is right on the bottle. So I'm not upset about giving that away to you guys. But
Remind me. So how would you guys do that ahead of time? Just based off of color and look? You would just say, hey, that looks...
No, we'd look it up on the distillery website.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you
Just-
wait now. Okay.
sometimes they have it on the bottle, and I've been kind of avoiding reading the side
I like
labels
that.
and
That's
stuff.
that's way better. Yeah.
Because I don't want to do it. But I'll tell you what, the cork on this and the bottle presentation is real cool. It's a neat looking bottle. And again, I don't know why.
I don't know why.
It does.
With the glass lettering.
Yeah. And I don't know why I keep doing this, but I keep buying bottles that fit really good in your liquor
Yeah,
cabinet.
because you can fit the tall ones. I can't. We need to reverse how we're buying these.
Exactly. So I'm going to crack this baby open. Not too bad. We've had some good cork pops recently.
That's a stout cork.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a little
Little
swig.
topper there.
Short and stubby.
Sometimes these bottles are a little hard to pour.
Yeah, you can't really get too close to the stem.
It's definitely dark in color though.
Yeah, it's got a nice caramel color too.
A lot better than last week.
I would be very shocked to find out that this doesn't have a little bit of caramel or something in there. Like a
Some
flavor
molasses,
of that.
maybe.
Yeah, like a flavor of caramel or something. So I'll toss this guy on here. And I say that we give this guy a little try and see what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
launch it.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
It's definitely more full body than what we did last week.
I'm happy in a lot of ways because last week's kind of missed the mark a little bit.
It really did.
And it had nothing other than the fact that it didn't have a lot of flavor.
No, it was pretty watery right out of the gate.
It's not that it tasted bad. It's just, you ever have one of those, Jeff?
I
It's
looked
like,
at the bottle. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I would have
It
liked
didn't taste like anything.
it." Was that
Yeah.
less flavorful?
when you have a whiskey and it's like you're tasting nothing, I feel like that's really underwhelming for me. I like this kind of bourbon flavor. I think that there's a lot to it. And it is a weird character thing for me to judge, but usually the darker the bourbon, the more I like it. That's
Yeah.
kind of been my thoughts recently. But no, I really enjoy the dark color on it. What do you think, Jeff?
I liked it a lot. So let me ask you, if you like darker colors, can you think of one that's in between like an Irish whiskey and maybe a darker colored bourbon that you don't like?
That I don't like.
Yeah, or maybe like less. Maybe don't like's a strong word.
Well, I can tell you that the lightest ones that we've had,
like I'm trying to think too.
I've not liked. Bastille, the French one, was
Didn't
really
like
light.
that.
Didn't like that. This one that we just had last week, the Irish whiskey, I'm not saying I didn't like it, but it was not my favorite as far as flavor goes.
The one in tequila casks.
The
wasn't any good.
That one was the same thing, very light. And I think that the clearer that you get on whiskey, the less I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad, and maybe there's a whole market of people that like that, but I don't particularly like that
Yeah,
flavor.
okay, fair enough. Because even looking at this for bourbon, for me, this just seems like, I don't want to use the word syrupy, but it definitely
Yeah.
looks darker. Than,
It is definitely
Like
a
a
lot
normal-
darker than you would see. And oddly enough, when I looked at the two bottles that
Good.
were in the store, this
Yeah.
one and the straight bourbon one they had in the store, it looked like almost this made the other one look like it was like a rye.
okay,
It was
yeah.
really light. And
Well,
it was a, it
Side
was
by
a- it
side
was a bourbon.
always
Yeah, I know.
gets me with the rocks versus
For-
meat.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. The color is totally different.
So this
But
is
looking at it, that's why like
But in the bottle, the other one, the straight bourbon one that was not aged in the Pinot Noir cask, looked like this. So when
Yeah.
you would have put it in over ice,
white.
it would have been real light.
Yeah.
So that one made me a little nervous because I know we've been really fond of the darker ones, and I think that they tend to. I think that my expectation for the Pinot Noir cask was that it was going to be a little sweeter on the back end. And I think it is.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that I noticed.
Yeah.
It's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this one. Like I mean, I would drink this all the time.
The best ones we've had, from my experience, and Brandon, I'm sure you'll agree, are bourbon up front with sweet undertones.
Yeah.
So it's almost like your Irish whiskeys and your bourbons had a baby,
Yes.
and they were perfect.
Yeah, because sometimes our Irish whiskey misses the mark. Is it's either too light, so you don't get that full body, like complex flavor,
Mhm.
or they're too sweet. The best Irish whiskeys are kind of walk that middle line. Same thing you're saying with the bourbon. It's like I don't like stuff that burns too bad. That's why I like hit me hard up front, but then make it easy as it's going down.
Correct.
And this one hits that on the head.
No, it's really good. I think it's a delicious one. I'm curious now. Are you guys? We're so bad at this, so I'm putting you guys on the spot. Are there any flavors that you think you can pull out of this if you were to blindly guess?
All right. Well, we'll take Pinot Noirs out of
Yeah, for sure. Obviously.
Which is giving us the sweet part.
I'm still thinking we're going to read the word molasses somewhere in this. I just get that feeling.
I don't know. It is sweeter, but it's good. It tastes like a bourbon, but
Let me see, like,
I'm not sure it even really has any tasting notes on the bottle itself, so we might need to do a
Yeah.
little bit of online research on
Yeah.
it,
8 ounce bourbon.
which is totally fine. It's 8 Oaks, and this is their double cask series, distilled from heritage grains. It was cool on the straight bourbon one that they had, the other bourbon they had there. It had the breakdown of what grains they were using
yeah.
in the distill process. So like I'm kind of intrigued that it doesn't have that on this one.
Double cast Pinot bourbon. That's the
Yep,
one.
that's the one.
All right. 18, 21, yeah.
But bear with us as we pull up the
No, we're,
flavor notes. We're always very prepared for our podcast.
yeah, we're doing pretty good. This came up quicker than I thought it would. So, jammy notes of blackberries, strawberries, and cherries. Robust corn and oak with hints of roasted nut and a classic wine dry finish.
Interesting.
So we went like over 12.
Yeah, well, corn's obvious, but as far as like the berries, I don't know. It is sweeter, and maybe that
I
gives
guess
it
that's where the sweetness is coming from.
color too, the darker complexion. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
But
a 2-year age, and then the mash is 78% corn, 9% barley, only 8% rye, and 5% wheat. So that's where the sweetness comes from. It's mostly a corn mash.
I'll tell you where I get the berries. Give it a sniff, like real close sniff. As soon as you do,
Well, I'm allergic to your cats. This is going to be a little tricky.
the berry smell comes through like immediately for me in the
I'm
smell
the wrong
of
one.
it, rather than in the taste of it.
all right, I have a dumb question. I'm going to embarrass myself here because I was going to say corn when I sipped it, but I also feel like every bourbon in the world has corn in it. Is that true?
It's a mixture of grains. It depends on the formula that they use.
There's like a
but-
certain percentage that needs to be because that's what I tasted. That and a little bit
there
sweeter than
is.
usual.
We're also not the experts on that.
Yeah.
I'm only going based off of how many we've tried.
Okay.
And I do find that certain types of whiskey lean heavier in certain aspects. So like if it's like
Okay.
rye, it's like very heavy.
Oh,
and
for
rye.
sure, for sure.
Obviously, that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah.
But like there are other ones that have higher concentrations. So like that's why that other bottle that had the breakdown, I was curious to see if this one would have had it too, because you could see that.
Yeah, and it almost seems like it has a little bit less bite because it's a little sweeter. It's very flavorful. And
It's
tasty.
got that awesome bourbon kick right in the very beginning,
Yeah.
and then that sweet flavor dials it back. I'm a big fan of this, and I'm kind of bummed out because this was the only bottle of this in the
Oh.
store. So for me to get this again, it's going to be a little tricky.
Well, you'll have to try the other one next time and see which one you like better.
So on the same note that we usually go on as far as like tasting notes go, if you guys had to guess a price point on this bottle, what are you feeling?
I'm
I'm going to go $44.
Okay.
gonna go $38. I
Okay.
think it's a little less.
I wish it was $38. You're right on the nose.
44?
It was so the other one that was in the store, same brand, but the straight bourbon was on sale for 44.
Okay.
This was like 48 something.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
you were really, really, really close.
Yeah. I would say that's fairly priced. I think
I would buy
more.
this anytime for that price.
Yeah, any more, and I think you might be able to get better options at 50 plus.
It's
Yeah.
too sweet for me. I'm gonna say it.
Really?
So,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Too
think that it's
syrupy.
good.
Chris and I share more of a palate than I think you do, which is why it's nice for all three on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because he and I agree too much. We typically like the same things,
Mhm.
so it's nice to have someone else get a
It's
little.
good,
Yeah,
but it's not my favorite. But
that's
it's
fine.
good. No, it's good.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good.
That's the whole point.
It's
I think
good.
I wouldn't pay 60 for it, but I think I'd be willing to pay in the mid 50s, and that
Yeah.
sounds so silly when you think about like price and logistics, like $5. But no, you're 100% right, Brandon. It's like when you get to the $60 range,
There's
your
better
options really drastically change on what you can put in your cart at $60 for a bourbon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not an afford, not afford thing. It's like if I'm
Yeah.
going to spend 60 on a bourbon, I think my 60 goes further some other places.
Well, we use this as a staple, and it's like a shame that I don't want to say it's a shame, but Basil Hayden is like a $50 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, which is
Typically.
given the choice, I'm always going to pick.
I was going to say, would I put this up against
Mm.
Basil Hayden? I would put them up against each other, but I think I'd still pick Basil Hayden every single time.
Yeah,
Like that's the tricky thing. We
Ados
still
belongs in the arena.
Drink
absolutely.
local. I like how it's a PA.
Yeah.
Like that would have me reach for it a little bit more. Just
This is like the story they have behind it. It's like a farm to table whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It really is. It's right in our backyard. We're 45 minutes away from this distillery.
That's pretty
That's crazy. Like I think that's
Yeah.
really good. I wouldn't have expected an area like that to produce something this quality. And whether or not it's the best whiskey we ever had, it's definitely a heck of a lot better than some of these big companies that we've seen that,
Yeah.
that really missed the mark.
no, it's very good. I'm just trying to nitpick and try to like pull out different things that I notice.
Absolutely.
We do like more of a burn anyway.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this has it in the beginning, which is nice. Like
It
that's
does
what I'm
a
saying.
little
I
bit,
think the bourbon hits you right up front.
It's the after taste.
It's the
for me.
after sweet that
Yeah,
it kicks in
little
hard.
little sweet.
It,
yeah.
it kicks in hard. It really does. And like the more that you sit here after you have it, I feel like the more that sweetness is kind of on your tongue.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say it immediately. But as I was sitting here, I'm like, you know,
And
Yeah.
I think if you had a couple of these,
I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit different of a taste profile. It's good though.
Looking side by side at them, it is interesting, and it reinforces why there's very little, if any, crossover ever.
Yeah.
Because I don't like anything neat. Like Chris brought over a really good whiskey. I was out of ice, and I hated it because it was neat.
Well, you're just not used to it. If you drank it for your need, I'm sure you're,
I never would.
and vice versa. But no, I get it.
That's
It's
the thing.
preference.
Like,
Yeah.
well, it's not even just with whiskey. Like I everything's got to be cold. Like, I
Yeah.
can't do room temperature water. That's weird.
Oh, see, I'm a room temperature
Yeah.
water.
That's because you slug water though.
I
It's
like.
not
I drink a
it's
lot
real
of water.
cold
It's
that you
easier to
go.
drink it fast.
Yeah. So like beverages for me have to be cold.
That's fair. I
But looking at it, if I like my whiskey this way and you like your whiskey that way,
Yeah.
there's no crossover because it's so different.
I don't know.
prefer that.
I drink it on ice every now and again.
Really?
I do. If I'm looking for something different because it's a slight change,
Yeah.
maybe like, I don't know, 1 out of 5 times that I'm having a glass of whiskey, I'll throw an ice cube in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I try it, right?
I found in the beginning, and I mean, like, I really don't do it enough, so maybe I'm a bad representation of it. If your thought was that you put it on ice to avoid burn
Yeah.
in certain whiskeys, I don't think that actually works.
No.
Like, the burn part of the whiskey isn't because it's hot, it's because it's like the way that it's reacting with you as you drink it. Like,
Yeah.
the alcohol content is something in it is spicy and it's hot. So, like, putting ice on it doesn't necessarily change that fact.
Unless you leave it sick, and there are some people
It's
that
like
like a little
water,
whiskey
yeah.
in their water, which I
It's-
think is a crime.
And I think that there was, like, your dad, Jeff, told me about it. It's like people that drink
Branch
bourbon,
water.
like really expensive bourbon, put branch water in it. So they don't necessarily put ice
Oh.
in it, but they put a splash of what they call branch water.
Yeah.
in it.
So it's
And it's supposed to help bring out the flavor notes in certain whiskeys. My thought is, if you have to do that, then like,
Whiskey itself.
well, no,
weird,
not
but-
necessarily, because the thing about that is the branch water. I think it's limestone that the water's filtered through, and
okay,
it adds a mineral content through the water. I'm going based off of what
Yeah.
he's told me, and it's been years, but I think that's what it is. So if you put a little bit of water in that,
Mhm.
now you're not throwing an ice cube in there, but a little bit. It
Yeah.
comes in like a separate bottle. You just throw a drop or two in there. It opens up the flavor profile based off of the limestone minerals in it.
do you want to know what this sounds like to me, Jeff? It sounds like somebody's really capitalizing on the placebo effect.
Yeah.
Probably, but how many people do you know that
But
do
I,
it?
but
you
I
know?
could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I'm kind of with Chris on this one.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that like you don't put A1 on a great steak. If the steak's great, the steak's great. If it needs A1, it probably ain't that great.
Don't shoot the messenger.
I think it's
Jeff,
great
tell us-
watching.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on
Yeah.
with this story here. You need to be the
Yeah.
resident expert on this. But speaking of hot topics things, this is kind of like in our wheelhouse right now, hot topics and us. So our great friend Jeff here is getting married within the next year, and we're going to his bachelor party.
At some point.
And I think what we want to talk about, and this is not to dig on Jeff, but you happen to be like an easy punching bag right now.
Lay 'em on me.
Bachelor and bachelorette parties have developed into this situation where it's like a mini vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is recent. I'd say like within like the last 5 to 10 years, this has really become very
Yeah.
prevalent. Most of the time people used to just wind up with going out for a night with their buddies and stuff. So I wanted to hear your guys' take on how you feel that's gone. Is it appropriate? Is it not? Is it a natural evolution of like where we're going as a society? Like, what's your guys' take on it?
For me, it's a case by case. Like I am super excited for Jeff's because I know, like you know a lot of the guys that are going on.
Yeah,
it, we're
because
all
of-
going on it, and like it's gonna be a blast. So I'm looking forward to that.
Sure.
I think there are also some where it's like a complete obligation, and it's like, God, this sucks. Like I could have done this for a night out in Philly, but now I got to spend 72 hours or 96, whatever it is, with these people. So it depends on who you're going with. Like, I don't think the destination matters. Like this
Yeah,
one in
yeah.
particular, I didn't think it's easy to reach. It's a short trip, and we're all sharing lodging.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it's reasonable, I think there are other instances. I know people that have done like Vegas or like Nash or like some like extremely expensive places where it's like, I think if you're asking people to spend $2,000 a piece pre-wedding, that's kind of inconsiderate.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's still a little expensive, but
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
seriously, because I get it. Like everyone, we're young, right? People are purchasing homes, starting families. Like it's a big ask for people to be like, hey, I'm getting married. Come fly to X, Y, and Z. So I guess it depends too, your relationship with that person. If it's a friend
Sure.
a little bit more distant out, then maybe it's okay to say no.
I tend to agree. I think it's very interesting. And Brandon, you hit the nail right on the head. It's like the three of us hang out, obviously, outside of any event that we'd be forced to go to.
Yeah.
We enjoy each other's company.
Right.
So I'm going to have a great time regardless. And in a way, I'm not taking a lot of vacation time this year, so like it's kind of it almost gives me an excuse to have a little bit of time off and enjoy that time with my buddies. But I think that in general, I could be favorable to the opinion of people that it's gotten a little out of control as far as how long people are going for and what they're expected to do.
Right.
Because I mean, it is something that you're like asking your close friends and family and stuff to do. So it's kind of like, is that justified? In our case, I'm happy to do it. It's a blast.
Right.
But I could see how some people would be hesitant. And
Yeah.
I think what you need to expect then is it's like you need to expect the same outcome of a destination wedding.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a destination wedding, you have to assume that some people aren't going to come. If you're going to do a 4-night bachelor party, you might need to expect that some people that you invite may not go.
Yeah.
And I think as long as those ground rules are set, then it kind of doesn't change much.
And this one was pretty democratically put together too. Like, I mean, I can only speak for myself and I think Chris, but like the people who were always going to be invited, no matter what the party turned out to be, had to some degree a say in what it turned out. Like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Is that something you can swing?
Right.
And which I think goes a long way. I think if I had gotten a text saying, "Hey, we're going to do 4 days in this place," and like, are you coming? I still would have done it, but I'd been like, "Phew, okay, let's figure this thing out."
Yeah.
But when you give people that kind of like agency to go, "Hey, we're thinking about doing this, are you in?" and I say, "Yes, that's great," then like I'm a part of the decision.
Yeah.
Like I decided to go do this. It wasn't thrust upon me.
And my whole thing was too, I love the beach, so I wanted the beach to be incorporated in the Northeast. I kept getting feedback from everyone I asked. It's like, dude, it's gonna be freezing if we go to the shore here. So we're a bit limited.
We're a week and a half out, and it's
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's 35 degrees out.
Yeah,
today.
2 weeks from the
2 weeks from,
from Thursday.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I wasn't. I mean, that's not matters. I'm just
Either
I
way,
wasn't going to precisely
Point
say this
being-
for the pod, but
the point being,
people
right
will
now,
be at our
it's
houses. They're not
Yeah.
going to be empty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brando, it looks like we got a couple comments coming in. I'm curious to see what we got going on. I hate to point to
People
you to
trying to
do it,
rob us.
but we'll see what's going on over there.
Can you guys put your addresses in?
Yeah.
96-hour batch parties, only booze. and
Amazing.
That's hilarious.
then, hey, Lola's.
Nice.
Yeah,
Summer
summer
in
in Secret would have been too cold. For those of you who don't know Jeff as well as we do outside of the pod, Jeff the gloves man if it's below 40.
Yep.
So
It
when
might
the
be
idea
below
was being
50.
kicked around with like, hey, why don't we do a weekend in the mountains? I'll take a little bit of credit for this. And I politely said, Jeff's a warm-blooded individual. We need to fly south.
I'll go to the mountains and stuff, but get me wrong. If we're celebrating me and I get to pick and be
Yeah.
selfish for the
gonna
first
be
time,
wrong.
yeah, we're going to the beach.
should
We're
be
going
selfish.
I'm never.
This is kind of, to be completely honest, hot take.
Yeah.
It's one of the last times you get to be selfish in your life.
Yeah, that's why I think within reason, you should be able to ask for whatever you want for this one thing. Especially if you're the kind of person like Jeff, like a lot of us are, where that's not the norm. Like if I have another friend, it's not like hypothetically, never ask for anything, goes with the flow, and the one time they're like, "Hey, my dream bachelor party's in like Austin, Texas. I want you there." This person's never asked me for anything ever before. I'm like, I'll figure it out and go next.
Yeah.
Like the person you are makes a difference too. If it's somebody who yearly is throwing together these elaborate friends trips, then their bachelor party honestly
Right.
needs a little bit less.
Yeah.
Considering our friends trip is like a once a year camping trip, bare bones
Yeah.
camping trip that cost us gas money to get out there.
Yeah.
I think that we can throw
Hey.
Jeff a bone here and say it's okay.
We went to the Bahamas last year. That was fun.
That was true.
Don't throw shade on
it
it.
twice in a calendar year, but I wouldn't
Oh.
do.
Hey,
No,
That trip was a blast.
they were both
too,
great.
though.
They were fun. Yeah.
What time? Those private islands, man. They can get
Yeah.
dangerous at 11 o'clock in the morning
You know what they
when
need?
it's all inclusive.
Pennsylvania whiskey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania whiskey. No, my biggest hot take on cruises is that they need to sign on as Yingling as a domestic.
They
beer.
do, especially if
There's
you're leaving the
no-
Northeast.
There's no reason that it's not there. It's spreading like wildfire, especially to your point in the Northeast. It's not like they can't stock it
Yeah.
before you go on the trip, but Yingling is a staple that is missing on cruises.
What do they
I-
go with? Bud Light or something like that?
There's basically every other
Heineken?
domestic except
Oh, really?
I don't
Yingling.
think there's a
I didn't
lot on the
notice.
boat. To your point.
No, you have Bud Light, Miller. They do like Corona. They do Dos Equis. They do.
I guess Dos Equis should be your lager.
I guess, but like, yeah, but like, it's not the same thing. I mean, that's a global market for
Yeah.
that. But Yingling has gotten huge. I mean, there's a couple breweries in
I
the.
think there's one in Florida.
There is one in Florida now. It's
Yeah.
gotten very popular. So I mean, like, we're basically spread across the whole East Coast. talk that through.
But being that we're going to be, it's somewhere in Florida for the bachelor party.
At an undisclosed time.
Yeah, at an undisclosed time. We typically try on the podcast to tie drinks to locations.
Yeah, it's a good question.
This is Jeff's bachelor party. In your vision, what are you getting hammered on for 4 days? Is it Coronas? Is it whiskeys? Is it fruity drinks with umbrellas in them?
Martinis. It's gonna be martini. No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
my
I've never had a martini in my life. Not saying that I don't like them, but don't knock until you try it. I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't thought of that yet. I don't know. For me, it's funny. I like a lot of IPAs, and it's funny. I drink them seasonally too. Fall hits, I'm like, without noticing, I start drinking IPAs. The spring hits, we get anything above 70. I like Corona, Modelo, any like Mexican style lager.
You definitely reach for a Modelo pretty frequently.
Yeah, and I like Coronas too. I don't know. That's a good question.
Are you going to be a tequila guy in Florida? You could be.
Yeah, but I also got to limit the shots because stuff gets out of hand. I don't know. Tequila?
It's the last time it can get out.
Oh,
That's the whole point.
I do like tequila. I also got these, not really on topic here with bourbon necessarily, but I got these drink making cards that go over any specific spirit that you like, and it shows you all the ingredients. No, it's
No,
like
no, I meant like we need to get a couple bottles.
Yeah.
Like a bottle of vodka, a bottle of this.
Yeah.
Based on the crew going, we're probably gonna need more than one bottle.
Yeah.
If we're going, I feel like in Florida, I might go like a little bit of rum. See what's going on
rum,
over there. I feel
tequila.
like
I
get
might
a little
leave
bit of my-
whiskey up north.
a little bit of my
Yeah.
Caribbean,
Yeah.
Caribbean aspects.
I think it'll
See
be-
what's going on.
I think it'll be a lot of rum.
Definitely on the Dos Equis.
Yeah. So, we'll have
those
to figure
beach
it out.
bars down there are blessed. We got to do a couple rum runners while we're there.
Yeah,
That's
of
the
course.
official drink of that part of Florida.
What does that consist of?
I couldn't tell you, but they're delicious. They can make bad
I
choices.
got a little bit of trivia for you guys.
Go ahead.
Where was the Cuban sandwich created?
Florida.
Miami,
No, be more specific.
Fort
Close.
Lauderdale.
I have zero geography.
Tampa.
Of Florida. Was
Really?
it?
Tampa. Yeah, I watch a lot of Food Network.
We should have.
I think
up
that's
on the
true.
setup.
I guess,
Said
yeah.
we're going
Yeah.
to Tampa.
Yeah, I think that's where the Cuban
Well, now
sandwich.
they know where we're going, Chris.
What are they going to rob us in Tampa?
Yes.
I got
Crime
to double check that. So anybody out there that's googling right now, I think I'm right. But
Yeah.
I think
That's
thought
pretty
it was
cool.
Tampa. Yeah.
All I could think of, like when I think about this whole topic, is just Scarface. And just watching Scarface, what an amazing movie!
Are we going to drive down to Miami?
Yeah, definitely.
Start running drugs in a cigarette booth.
Say hello to my little. What a classic!
Classic. Good movie.
We're gonna watch that while we're down there for sure.
Chris gonna watch it on the plane.
I might actually.
Full
to be
volume.
honest.
That plane's going to be packed with friends too. That's going to be
It's gonna be jumping. I don't typically drink on planes, but I might on that one.
Like we might not really like.
Then you got to go to Costco while we land, so be careful.
See, I avoid like drinking in the airport, and I know that like a lot of people don't do that. Like a lot of people do.
Airport beers.
The only time I'll do it is if I know I'm the aisle seat, because there's nothing more inconvenient than asking two strangers to get out of your way to go to the
Interesting.
bathroom. And if you're like, here's the thing: if you're drinking for a couple hours, usually like pee a couple times and you get that out of your system. So like maybe that's the goal. It's like you have like quite a few beers, so that way before you get on the plane, you've already peed a couple times. But if you like you get to the airport with like an hour and a half to go.
Mhm.
You pound back like 4 beers, you're gonna have to pee like 8 times. on
Yeah.
that plane.
Then you're gonna get liability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm asking people to move multiple times. I think my bladder would explode from just not wanting to ask people to move.
Are you not an aisle?
So I don't pick my seat because I think it costs like $30 extra to pick your seat.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much on American. I mean, I'm sitting. Don't get me wrong. I'm back by the bathroom.
Now they know we're on American Airlines.
I
It's messed
don't
up.
think Al Qaeda listens.
Ruined trip.
Yeah.
Well, when we fly to Iceland, then
Yeah.
we'll be good.
Yeah, that's true. We got to see it. We'll zig when they zag. They think they're going warm. We're going cold.
But yeah, it's going to be a good trip. And no offense, Jeff, I didn't mean any hate because it's going to be an awesome trip going with you. I just found it funny. It's like I'm looking forward to this trip, but had it been anybody else that asked me, I probably would have second guessed.
Dude, I was expecting some no's. I'm not gonna lie. to you guys too.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for coming. It'll be awesome, but it is a big ask.
I mean, it's we're going for you. It's also like Chris said,
Appreciate
it's selfishly. I mean, if you're able to do it, and for a little while longer, we're all in that position. Like, you know, why not go to Florida with your buddies for 4 days?
We might have to,
Or high
like,
school.
with all those guys there, we might have to throw like a quick live video up or something, like a 5-minute live.
Yeah,
With
I mean,
like
why
all the
not?
dudes trying a whiskey or something.
Okay, why don't we?
I don't
do
want
that?
to put that on your weekend. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's all about you on there. But
Dude,
I feel like
come
our
on.
viewers would appreciate like
yeah,
all the dudes just having like one quick drink together or something.
I would love that.
Do a 5-minute
I would
live
love
or
that.
even just a post in general. So
Yeah,
keep an eye out for that in the next couple weeks. We do have one pod scheduled before we go. It's actually
Yeah.
right
the
before
Tuesday
we
before
go.
we leave.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I'd be down to do that. Just, I mean, you got to fish me out of the pool beforehand, but
exactly.
we'll fish out.
yeah, just don't let me in the pool after 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys keep an eye out for that. And with that being said, I think we're pretty much at time here.
Yeah, I've had 2 glasses of whiskey and I'm driving home. That's probably about the time, I would say.
Indeed. Well, thank you guys very much for watching tonight.
Till next time, I'm Brandon, Chris, Jeff. For today, we're the Whiskey Gingers. See you in a couple weeks.